Hi families. Well, it's lockdown time again. And so I thought I'd just let you know my fashion accessory. I wrote to you last night. Most of you read the letter, some haven't. So I wanted to talk with you personally, and I'm sending another letter tonight. Just with a few other details. So I think I'll read this out to you now, just so you know what's happening thus far in this COVID lockdown. So I've just said, following from my letter yesterday, I wanted to pass on a few practical details. However, as a reminder from last night's letter, the Premier has introduced stay-at-home restrictions to all of regional Victoria. Thus, prep to Year 10 students will move to remote and flexible learning. So, on-site supervision at school is restricted to a small number of exceptions. For example, they are, firstly, those parents who cannot work from home are exceptions, and they may send their children. Children in the category of vulnerability, you know who that you are, and any child with disability. That's all the exceptions that the Premier is allowing. Now, the government has taken these extra powers under the powers ordained by the Emergency Management Act. So it's in law. So because we are providing more paper-based resources, we are able to assist those families to have quality education experience at home, even though you haven't got the internet access. So that means even if you haven't got the internet access, you are able to have your children at home, as mentioned in last night's letter. Please read that if you haven't already read it. Please remember, and this is very important, this is from government, it says, please remember, if a child can learn from home, then the child should be at home. If a parent is at home, then the child should be at home. This is very important. Now, regarding the children's work, most families have already picked up the tubs and the work that the teachers have prescribed for your children. So that's good. Some of you have yet to do that, so please make sure you pick that work up and get that rolling for your children. I really want to thank our teachers, because we've only had one day of preparation, that was today, Tuesday, to get ready for this much longer and extended COVID stay-at-home lockdown period under the disaster state definition. So teachers have worked very hard to get the paper curriculum out to families, to get the tubs and all the children's resources to them, and also to commence some online activities, although it won't be as intense as it was last time. We understand the critical factor in primary education, as demonstrated in the Australian curriculum requirements, is a high level of literacy and numeracy, and working on other key learning areas such as science, history, geography, civics at a lesser level. So we're committed to working with you, prescribing work for the children that won't be onerous for families, but will still be compliant with the Australian curriculum standard requirements. And now, so thanks teachers for all you've done, and I know you're working overtime, you're working nights, you're working weekends, just so our students can have a quality educational experience. Really appreciate that work. Now, from next Monday, that's next week, paper packs will cover 1 week's worth of work. You can pick them up from school on Fridays after 2 p.m. So we'll do that week by week, whilst we're in this process. So every Friday, when you come to pick up your children's work for next week, drop off your children's work for that week. That is, the work that they have had to do over the past 5 days. So it's up to parents to make sure that the children are working and getting that work done. We want to make sure the work is of good standard. We want the children to not be rushing or doing work that is of poor quality and just to get the thing done. We just want to help the children to work at that appropriate standard, appropriate to their level and skill. So now what happens then is the teachers will take that work that you deliver back on the Fridays and they will review it. So that's really important. Now we are going to continue with online conferences, but not every day. The teachers believe that it's sufficient to have an online conference on Monday morning and Thursday morning. There will, however, be online lessons in literacy and numeracy each day. Now, the conferences and the online lessons will be the roll call. So please make sure your children are attending promptly, ready to go on time at that time. So that will be the roll call. And as you know, in Victorian state education requirements, roll call is critical and has to be done every day. Now, normally the law says it should be done twice a day, but the Education Minister says that once will be sufficient. So we're happy to do that at that early part of the day and get that roll call done and dusted. So we will be marking children as present or absent, and that's a very important part of attendance requirements in the as described in the Victorian Education and Training Reform Act 2006. Now, for your conferences, Miss Bosch will be doing conferences for her prep classes on Monday and Thursday. Prep class will be at 9 a.m. Year 1 class, Miss Bosch will be doing her online conference at 9:10 a.m. That's 10 past 9. Similarly, Mrs. Stevens will be doing Year 2 conferences at 9 a.m. Just 10 minutes, covering the issues and letting the children get on with it. And for Year 3, your conference will be at 9:10 a.m. Mondays and Thursdays. Finally, Mrs. K's classes, Year 4, that will be at 9 a.m, Year 5, 9:10 a.m, and Year 6, 9:20 a.m. So I hope that's all clear. And families that don't have that online access, the teachers will make an arrangement to take the attendance. Okay, so just be aware of that. So it's vital that your children are prompt and ready for that conference and daily routine online routine activity. So that's about it for me. We are here for you. Any questions, you can call in at the office. If you need to talk to a teacher, you can make an appointment. Probably best to do it by phone, but or online. But we are here for you, and we will be touching base with you on a regular basis. So here we go again. Flexible and remote learning. However, this time we are under new, stricter restrictions. At school, we're committed to assisting our students, you as the parents, and our staff members to have a quality educational experience, with the big emphasis being on the personal development of your children. So please be assured, as I like to say often, that your child and your children are well known, well loved and well taught by this staff at school. Together we'll get through this unique time in Victoria's history. At Australian Christian College, we are committed to these greater changes which have been installed by our government, and we will assist to keep our children, your families and our staff safe and well during this time. We'll talk further about other matters such as expansion and our Year 7 and all these other good things that God is bringing to this school. Please pray for us as we do for you. So God bless. All the best. Goodbye for now.